Yeah, I mean, if I was to jump in there for a quick second, one of the things that I have found, and there's a young guy who works with us now who's pursuing his dreams of being an actor, and I fully support him. But when we talk, I always try to remind him that a dream is doesn't end if you don't end up exactly where it's supposed to be. And again, I mentioned the students that I've had a chance to talk to. A lot of them come up to me afterwards, and they want sort of a further explanation of what I'm trying to tell them. And what it is that you've got to remember something. You love, okay, in the case of me, I love film and entertainment. I love this industry. Being in front of the camera, that would be the ultimate dream. And that's something that's the pinnacle. But it doesn't mean that because I'm not on the camera, I'm not living that dream still. Every day I wake up and I go and I live in this industry.
Right.
I experience it. I meet people. I'm consuming it. Right. There are things that I've worked on that, in some ways have brought me more joy than ever being in front of the camera could. Yeah. I still get to express that feeling, that energy, that vibe that I would have gotten from being on camera by being behind camera and being in my office every day.
Right.
Is it the same? No, it will never be the same. And I don't think it should ever. That's the part you got to get comfortable with, is recognizing that it won't be exact, but it's still living
Absolutely.
the dream. If someone met me who, and I went to school in Mississauga too as well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But if someone met me and saw me today, they would be like, you're living the dream. Because even though I was in the school plays and did a little bit of acting here and there, I'm still living the dream because I work for the Walt Disney Company. Right. Because I work in entertainment, because I associate with people in this industry. And here's the fun fact, I'm still on camera. Just even the other day, I had to do some interviews, and here I am on camera doing what I had always dreamed about, living that dream, being interviewed, being asked questions. So is it the same? No, but the dream is still there, right? You know what I mean? It's still being experienced.
Absolutely. So something you just shared there reminded me of something I came across, and I said, like, letting go is a skill. And where I'm going with this, Quincy, is that sometimes when we have a dream, a vision, a goal, we figure that in order for that goal to be considered a success, it has to happen exactly how we envisioned it. And you have to let go of the how it's going to work out and just let the process be the process. You know what I mean? So sometimes I say, like, the success is in the attempt. The fact that you just went out and did the thing, whatever that thing is, that's a win right there. Because so many people have ideas, thoughts, visions, and never really act on them for whatever reason. But the fact that you are able to go out there, that's already a win. And then whatever happens there is kind of a success in its own.
So I couldn't agree with you more. 100%. And you said it so good too as well. Like, if you never try something, and again, it goes back to how I sort of started this whole thing, is that leaders are leaders because they try. It's not that they succeed at everything they do. It's that they try. And that's what I try to tell everybody. It's what I try to tell my girls. You've got to try. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to attempt. One, and it's dangerous to kind of say this, it's not that you get comfortable with failure, but you recognize the value of failure, right? And so it's a really good thing you said there. I agree with you a lot, yeah.
I like how you just phrased that, recognize the value of failure, because one of the big podcasts I listen to is Diary of a CEO. I don't know if you know him, Stephen Bartlett, Dragon's Den panelist, used to run a social media company, has his own podcast now. And one of the things he had talked about is his podcast team is a large team, about 60 people. He has a head of failure and experimentation. So that guy's job is to just go out and find new things for it to work. And he gets graded on how many new things they try, whether it works or not. And he said something at a conference I heard him speak at about almost a year ago. He said, failure is just feedback. It's just information.
As well. That's cool.
And I think if you just frame it like that, then I think so many of us don't become afraid to fail, because it's information, it's feedback. So I try to, when I'm on the phone with my clients and I'm talking with them, it's like, if they don't get the results that they get, I'm like, this is just information for us to use and pivot and guide us moving forward. It's not, this all didn't work, don't ever use this again. No, it's telling us something.
Of course, man. And I love that, because for me, I've got an amazing team. I'm not comfortable taking credit for a lot of the work we do, because I know there are so many people behind me who are actually getting this done, who actually help it become a real thing. And when we talk and we are presented with new opportunities, that's one of the biggest things I have to talk to them about. That's where I find myself really getting involved. Is like, guys, it's okay. We're going to try this. We're going to go and put it out there. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I get it. But guess what? We're either going to really do a great job and learn that this is something that is a tremendous amount of value, or it's not going to work, but we're going to understand why it doesn't work. And hey, maybe the next one we can come back at it and we can look at this thing a completely different way. And so, but it is an acquired taste.
Yep.
It is something that
1000%.
you have to get used to. Again, I will always go back to this. Good leaders learn the value of it. They really do. And they understand it. And they don't shy away. I mean, me personally, I love change. I think change is an amazing thing. We learn from it. I've always found I learn more from change than I do from sitting in a classroom, right? And so failure is one of those things that can lead to change.